Yo, yo, what's up, fam? It's Scorpio down here in the cellar, cooking up some fucking green eggs and ham. No, it's January 2024. This is the year of truth. I wanted to just talk a little bit about some esoteric wisdom, some truth, and God and what's going on. I don't know if any of you guys watched the Cat Williams interview with Shannon Sharp. Everybody's got a podcast nowadays. Thanks, Joe Rogan. But yeah, Cat Williams went fucking ham on Hollywood. Everybody's fucking tripping. And it's the truth. Hollywood's done. Epstein's done. Fucking Trump won Iowa. Suck my big fat Iowa caucus. Trump to the Dems. Suck my Iowa caucus. I love it. You got all this bullshit going on. This truth, right? The new earth. The vibrational split that's going on. And it's happening now. And the esoteric wisdom and spiritual awakening that I went through, oh my God. Fucking brutal. You know, I wanted to just talk about truth. Religious versus non-religious. Christianity versus secular Christianity. What that even means. My belief system. Good, evil, God, the absolute truth. All of it. So what we have is God is the creator of the universe. Always has been, always will be, and there's only one, okay? And God is not religious. God is secular. Truth is secular. Secular, by definition, is worldly, non-religious, okay? Non-religious. Jesus was a Jew, but he was a secular Jew. He was not a religious Jew. Jesus, at the age of 12 years old, disappeared for fucking 12 years and found God. He was not part of the Jewish fucking Sadducees. He was not part of the temple. That's what got him crucified. He went alone with God and he found God, and God chose Jesus because Jesus chose God. First and foremost. That's the fucking truth. Do I think Jesus existed? Yes. Was he crucified? Yes. Was he resurrected? Did he come back to life? I would say yes. I think that, you know, there's supernatural things that happen. People have had near-death experiences all the time. They're all over the internet. But prophecy and truth, and the Bible was written by people. Christianity as a fucking religion was created decades after Christ even existed. And then it became a religion. But Christ himself was not religious. So, you know, I guess I'm a Christian in that I believe in Christ, but I guess you could call me a secular Christian. I'm not a religious Christian. I'm a worldly Christian. I'm a truthful Christian. I'm not saying there's no truth in the Bible. I'm just saying the Bible wasn't written by God. The Bible was written by man. You know what I mean? And, you know, God is the creator. God is not of this world. He created this world. And when God created this world, I don't have the answers on how humanity was created or how we got to where we got today. There's a lot of fucking, the Bible is ridiculous. Adam and Eve in a fucking garden and all of that shit. That's not true. The book of Enoch talks about aliens or the Nephilim. The book of Enoch was fucking scrubbed. I think the African version of Christianity recognizes the book of Enoch, but overall the book of Enoch was scrubbed. But and then there's the fucking pyramids, which was way before Christ. And then there's Thoth, Thoth, and then there was it Enoch that never died? Enoch never experienced death. God just took him. He was alive for 365 years and just fucking disappeared. Kind of like Jim Morrison. He just fucking disappeared. Nobody saw Jim Morrison dead. Not even fucking his girlfriend. Well, I think Pamela saw him dead, but yeah, he died. I'm not saying he didn't, but anyways, yeah, there's the book of Enoch talks about Nephilim and aliens and whatever the fuck. So, but the point is, God created all of it. God created aliens. God created the universe. God created us. God created the earth. And God is, my relationship with God is that it is a masculine energy. I call him Father. Father Beans. Fava beans. But God is the masculine energy because God is the creator, the doer, the mastermind. And Father God is the creator, Mother Earth is the nurturer of life. So that's the divine masculine and feminine, and that's where it comes from. And that's what God told me. And it makes sense. If you look at Earth as a feminine energy, nurturing, she provides the environment for growth and life, just like the fetus, just like the woman, just like the feminine anatomy. Mother Earth is the same. Metaphorically speaking, but it's the same energy. And Father God is the seed of all creation. Mother Earth is the womb. So I refer to God as Father, and I refer to Earth as Mother. And, God's pissed off. God's the creator of everything. God's the creator of us, of emotion. God's the creator of consciousness, of everything. God created good. God created evil because he had to. Here's the wisdom and this is the truth, Nuke, that explains everything, and it's actually very simple. It's very simple. God created the divine out of divinity, and God created the devil out of necessity. Because there's this thing called the universal law of duality, and it's a universal law, and not even God is exempt from this fucking law. Because when you create consciousness, you need to create Duality is the nucleus of consciousness. If everything was created the same, there's no conscious awareness of anything else. So if there's no duality, there's no consciousness. There's no awareness. Period. That's it. And duality exists in every realm. Duality exists in the spiritual realm. Duality exists in the thought realm. Duality exists in the physical realm. Duality exists in the metaphysical realm. It does, yes. Yes, it does. Because to have conscious awareness of any of it, there needs to be duality. It's the fucking law. So I came up with this quote, duality is the nucleus of consciousness. I came up with that quote. I haven't seen that quote written anywhere by anybody. Einstein, Confucius, Pythagoras, fucking, anybody. Ben Franklin, Jesus. That's the way it is. And that's what God told me. So he created the devil out of necessity. And then, of course, and that's, high vibration, low vibration, big dick energy, little dick energy. We're talking duality here, consciousness. It's the nucleus of consciousness, period. And then, of course, now you have free will. God grants us free will to choose low vibration or to choose high vibration. And it's a lot of work. It really is a lot of spiritual work and healing work and trust and faith and trust. But man, I got to tell you, what I've been through is nothing short of fucking... So that's the esoteric wisdom. And then you got, I wanted to talk a little bit about law of attraction and Abraham Hicks. And I don't want to point fingers at Abraham Hicks. I adore her. I really do. But her teachings are fucked up. Some of her teachings are valid, but they just don't make any fucking sense in the real... She's spiritual, her teachings are in a spiritual vacuum. There's no merit. There's no truth. And I'm going to talk about a basic teaching about Abraham Hicks that is flat out fucking false, okay? And and I love Abraham Hicks. I'm not targeting her. I'm just pointing out my truth and my experience with this. I'm an empath, right? And the more you connect with God and the closer you get with God, the more empathic you become, the more in tune you become with life, with nature, with understanding of life and other people's situations. It's a byproduct of your relationship with God. You become an empath. It's part of the gig. So as I was going through, and this is the dichotomy, this is where she loses me because she contradicts herself. So I'm going through law of attraction and I'm building my relationship with God. And I'm listening to Abraham Hicks, and I went to one of her workshops, which was very expensive, by the way, like $300. And the place was packed. Like, she must have made $250,000 in one fucking workshop. I mean, I went to a fucking big ass hotel with a huge ballroom, 1,500 seat capacity, and that place was stacked. I'm going to tell you my story about this. And I went to the ballroom, and the night before I went out with my friend Brent. We went to see a comic, Nick DiPaolo. We went to see him. We had a couple beers or whatever. And so the next day I drove Stamford, Connecticut. I don't know. It was on the way to New York. It was this huge hotel. I paid like $275 for the ticket for a one-day workshop with her. Place was packed. So I went, and I was kind of hungover. I had a fucking headache. I wore my baseball cap low. I had my leather jacket on. I sat way in the back. Way in the back. I mean, I was in fucking left field, man. In the corner, sitting by the door. Sitting on the back wall. And if you're familiar with Abraham Hicks, she does these workshops and she has people come up to the hot seat and ask her questions and, you know, talking to source and all of this nonsense. And her infinite wisdom. And of course, I was connected to Source, and I'm bringing the big dick energy, but I'm low key. I got my baseball hat on. I don't want to go sit up on the fucking seat. I don't have any questions because I have access to all the fucking answers. Okay, and that's what God is: infinite intelligence. Okay, and when you're connected to God, you have access to all the answers and all the clarity and everything you need at all times. But you have to commit to that relationship. But anyways, this was before I had my spiritual awakening, my big one. And I was a fan of Abraham Hicks. I adore her, by the way. But her teachings don't resonate with me anymore. And I'm going to get into it. So I'm sitting. There's two sessions. There's a morning session, and then there's an afternoon session. And it's an all-day thing. It's probably 6 hours. It's like a 3-hour morning and then an hour break and then a 3-hour after. 6 to 8 hours. It's a full day. But it's expensive. But anyways, it was the beginning of session 2, and she asks people in the audience to come up to ask her questions. And she's like, let's take somebody from the audience. And I'm like, I'm not going up there. I don't have any questions. I'm just here for the fucking vibe. To see what I can see. And I'm in no shape. I'm tired. I got a fucking headache. My baseball cap's on low. And I'm sitting way in the back. I'm at the back of the wall, dude. I'm at the Green Monster. And she is like a mile up on stage. I can barely see her. You know, I'm doing one of these. So I'm sitting there. And she fucking looks right at me. She's like way in the back. Way. She picked up on my energy. This is no fucking joke. She's like way in the back. And I'm just like, and I look up and she's pointing right at me. And she literally looks this big. And I'm like, all I had to do was this, and she would have called me up on stage. And I'm like, I don't want to go up on stage. I'm good. I have all the answers. I'm watching you. And she picked up on that vibe, and she picked me out of a crowd. She is connected. And she pointed at me, and everybody around me stood up, because everybody wants to go on stage. And I'm like, nope. Dude, I'm not going up. I don't have any questions. You know what I mean? I just want to see what's going on here because I've been following her for so long. And everybody around me stood up and jumped up and wants to go on stage, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, she fucking sniffed me out of a fucking 1,000 people. I'm serious. This is no fucking word of a lie. All I had to do was this, and she would have called me up because she was looking right at me. She's like, you. way in the back. And everybody around me stood up and she's like, no, 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 come on. And I sat there and I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm straight. I got a headache. Just continue. And she's like, I said that. Well, I didn't say anything. I didn't move. I just looked at her and I was like, and she's like, oh, I'm getting some resistance over here. And the whole crowd was like, oh. Like, that's my Abraham Hicks fucking story. She picked me out of 1,500 people. Fucking packed fucking room. I was in the back corner with my baseball cap on, and she snuffed me out of a crowd. So she's connected to energy. She felt my energy. She knew who I was. But anyways, about her fucking teachings. Complete nonsense. So her biggest teaching that I had a problem with is the fact that she teaches that if me as an empath, if I calibrate my energy and my vibration to another person's highest vibration, then law of attraction says that that other person has to give you that version of themselves. No, they don't. Law of attraction does not override somebody else's free will. Law of attraction does not override somebody else's healing process. Law of attraction does not, you know what I mean? It doesn't work that way. My ex-wife is a perfect example. My twin flame is a perfect example. These are people stuck in the matrix. They're stuck in their vibrational ways. They're not necessarily asleep. They're just stuck in their fucking program. And they have to do their own healing and their own work to get out of it. Me calibrating myself to their highest vibration is not going to shortcut that fucking process. So, and I'm an empath. I dial to my, listen, that's what I do by default. I calibrate myself to everybody else's potential all the time because I'm an empath. That's what we do. But law of attraction does not you can't force somebody else. You can't use law of attraction to mitigate the healing process, is what I'm saying. If somebody's stuck in the matrix in a low vibration, the fact that you see their potential is not going to bring them out of it. They have to do the work. That's the way it is. And that happened with my ex-wife. It happened with my twin flame. It's happening with other people in my life. And why? Because God's using me as a lesson. I get involved with these people because that's my soul contract. So that doesn't resonate with me. That's total bullshit. And she contradicted herself with that teaching. There's other teachings and other taglines that she says. I read one. I was on Facebook and I'm scrolling and I follow her page, and one of her quotes says, "We're not here to learn lessons, we're here to create." And I'm like, what? If you don't learn lessons, your soul doesn't grow, and you're stuck repeating karmic cycles. You don't evolve if you don't learn lessons. Like, what is she talking about? And then she doesn't acknowledge spiritual warfare. She doesn't acknowledge the devil. She doesn't acknowledge anything. She's just like, oh, don't acknowledge any of your problems. They won't manifest. What? Oh, and if you manifest anything in your life, it's your fault. What? I'm an empath. I attracted narcissists, people that are very good at lying, and I trusted them. That's a lesson I had to learn. A fucking hard lesson. And I tried your technique. I calibrated myself to the highest version of these people, and they still fucking tried to kill me. It's like calibrating yourself to Jeffrey Dahmer's highest vibration. to get him to stop from killing you and eating your brains. It's the most ridiculous fucking thing I've ever heard. That's why they call it self-healing, because you got to do it yourself, and it's work, and it's lessons, and it's spiritual. And this is where Abraham Hicks totally fucking doesn't make any sense anymore. She played a role in being the first step towards my path to Father, but after that, and there's a whole bunch of other we're not here to learn lessons. Are you out of your fucking mind? What? I actually read that as a quote from Abraham Hicks, and I'm like, wow, she is in a spiritual vacuum. Spiritual warriors were not made in a spiritual vacuum, okay? The devil exists. It has to. The devil manifests because people have free will and choose. It's not my fault somebody else chose to be a narcissist or was raised by certain, you know what I mean? Where does this whole narrative that it's always my fault, I'm the creator of my life, fuck you. I don't buy it anymore. I'm not taking the heat for some other narcissist who's trying to fucking kill me. I trusted these people. And if I'm not here to learn lessons, how am I going to learn this lesson? I'm going to be left for fucking dead. So her teachings don't make any sense. For my spiritual advancement, based on my experience, you need discernment, which is, you need to discern. Evil exists. Good exists. High vibration exists. Low vibration exists. Duality exists. You need third eye discernment. To her, it's like, oh, there is no judgment. There's only light. And people are just further away from the light. And the devil only manifests if you don't, you know, and it's like, no. You create your own truth. You create your own reality. No. I was a very positive person, but the problem is negative people exist. And God is using me as a fucking test, as a tool, as a vessel to teach lessons. And vice versa. And then she's like, well, we're not here to learn lessons. We're here to create. What the fuck? Wow. You know, so after going through my real spiritual awakening, I have zero resonance with Abraham Hicks anymore. On almost any level. So that's my experience. And she's like, oh, there is no judgment. No, there's fucking judgment. That's why the world is as fucked up as it is. Because there's a huge karmic imbalance of justice. So much so that human trafficking is a fucking hundreds of billions of dollars industry. It's worse now than it's ever been. So judgment, justice, karma, it's all real. And this is how God works. This is how he created things. In the spiritual realm, you will be judged. You will be judged based on your actions. And I listen to her and it's like, oh, well, these people are around, you know, it's like God doesn't care. These people are cannibals and they're killing and eating people. And, oh, there's no judgment. You just, you know, when you die, you just go on and fucking la-di-fucking-da. It's like, no, I don't buy her paradigm. I'm directly connected to God, and I don't resonate with any of her fucking nonsense. I don't know where she's coming from, what life she's living. You know what I mean? It's just so out of touch. You know? And then there's truth. I don't even know. What the fuck is what's her philosophy on truth? I don't listen to her anymore. It doesn't resonate. You know, there are bad people on this planet, and you need to discern. And here's the other thing about law of attraction. This notion of attraction in the universe is not limited to like attracts like or opposites. You've heard both. You've heard both terms, both cliches. Oh, like attracts like, opposites attract. Well, yeah, exactly. Both of it's true. When you're healed and you do all this work and you have the juicy fucking energy of God, you attract all sorts of fucking idiots. You know, you attract all sorts of people. This notion of attraction is not limited to opposites, nor is it limited to like. You attract everything. You attract good, you attract bad. And yes, both exist. It's not a dream. Both manifest. And it's not my fault that I attracted fucking assholes. You know what I mean? That's the nature of the law of attraction. But God gives you the third eye discernment to fucking weed out the nonsense. Right? And if you don't learn the lessons, you don't weed out the nonsense. You create more karmic cycles and more misery for yourself. Well, you must be somehow, your soul must be in misery if you keep attracting misery. No, you do it to learn lessons. And once you learn the lessons, then you can discern, and then you can be more stingy with your energy. This is how your soul evolves. With Abraham Hicks, there's no evolution. There's just, oh, well, we're going to fucking create. And it's easy for her. She comes across and does a fucking speaking engagement and manifests all this fucking money. Good for her. It's not true in my life. I have a different mission. I have a different relationship with Source. That's the way it is. And people have free will. And I mean, a lot of this stuff is in the Bible, but a lot of this stuff I perceive to be true based on my experience, my life, my lessons. I'm not making this up. Narcissism is real. People are sick. You know? So, when God calls you to be a spiritual warrior, you got to go through the war. Just like Jesus did. And the Zionist fucking Jews killed him for it. Because he called them all out. And that's the problem now. You got Cat Williams calling all these people out, and Hollywood's panicking. You know, the Epstein list is out, and Cat's out of the bag, and, you know, the Zionist Jews are panicking. But the problem is you can't lose sight of who's really, you can't lose sight of the real head of the snake, and it's the Zionist fucking Jews. They are the Antichrist. It exists. It's real. They killed Jesus. That's the Antichrist. That's how it manifested. That's the duality. You know, you look at who funded Hitler. The Who's in Whoville. The Zionist Jews in Jewville funded fucking Hitler. Out of Switzerland. The people who printed the money. So the Zionist Jews target their own people That's the sickest form of narcissism. And every narcissistic relationship is a dead end. Every single one. The Matrix, the toxic codependent relationship with fucking corporate America, dead end. Every narcissistic relationship I've been in my life has just been used, abused, and a fucking dead end. You know, for me, with my ex-wife, I don't think it was narcissism. I think it was more her unwillingness to heal and to look at herself. It became too much. It was easy if I put her on the spot and I said, what about this and what about that? And fucking silence. I held the mirror up to her face and she didn't want to look. And it's like, it's not that she's the wrong person. Like, again, I spent 12 years trying to calibrate myself to her highest vibration. And you know what she did? She kept knocking me down to my lowest vibration. And it was so much of a fight for me to maintain my highest vibration, it wasn't worth it. Like, it was driving me to drink, literally. You know, whether I drank or not, whether I was in high vibration or not, she brought me down to a low vibration. I remember one night I was listening to Abraham Hicks on my ride home. And I get home and I was in such a positive mood. I'm like, I'm not going to let my wife fucking bring me down, because I was aware of what was going on. She's got a stress addiction. She's addicted to stress. See, nobody talks about these addictions and how these addictions destroy relationships. It's always alcohol and fucking anger and drug abuse. And what about addictions to stress? What about narcissistic addictions to manipulation and control? What about these personality disorders? You know. So I get home and I promised myself, I'm like, I'm going to try and be calm. I'm going to try and be positive. And I did, and she just wouldn't stop. She just came at me. And because she knew I was happy, and she wasn't. She was more in love with her own insecurities than she ever was with me. And so when she saw me happy, oh, well, shit, if she's not happy, nobody can be fucking happy. That fucking bullshit's gotta stop. That's toxicity 101, dude. And what did I do? I drank heavy. And I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. So it became a matter of healing. I really wanted to heal, and I had to get out. Protect myself against the relationship, which was, and she had a problem for every solution. I'd come up with a solution. It wasn't good enough. She had, because she needed that stress. She needed that cortisol release. She needed that survival mode. Nothing was ever good enough. And that takes a toll on a motherfucker. And I hate to sound like I'm finger pointing. I really do. I really hate to sound like I'm finger pointing, but the truth is the truth. Nobody's perfect. I betrayed myself by believing Abraham Hicks. I betrayed myself by believing that I could use law of attraction to get her into her higher vibration. And it took me 12 years to figure out that it's bullshit. She needs to do the work. Fucking Abraham Hicks. So that's the wisdom. That's it, The truth, man. The truth is secular. Fucking Abraham Hicks. I don't resonate with that anymore. None of it makes any sense. And trust me, I listened to her a lot. And I tried to put it into practice, and it blew up in my face. And then I met my twin flame and went through my real spiritual awakening, and I was like, motherfucker, spiritual warfare is real. The devil is here. The Antichrist is running roughshod, okay? And we are here to learn lessons and to grow and to evolve and not to fucking go, oh, I'm just gonna go out there and pick fucking daisies and fucking manifest me a fucking red rose. Yeah, that happens too. But I've been called to fight spiritual battles. I was thrown into this. I was. Absolutely. You know, maybe that's true for her. Maybe Abraham Hicks is true. She can go out and fucking piddly fuck through the daisies and not manifest a fucking narcissist in her life. Oh, it's a reflection of who you are. Well, you know what? If it's narcissistic for me to leave a marriage so I can heal myself, then so fucking be it. But I don't believe it. This narrative that your life is a reflection of you. No, it's not. And I believe that to a certain degree, but it doesn't resonate with me anymore. It's bullshit. Bad things happen to good people. You know what I'm saying? And I really, I just can't buy into that narrative anymore. Oh, your life is all your fault. You manifested it. You attracted it. It must be something within you. It's like saying, the innocent victim children of a fucking school shooting manifested their own death because their fucking soul was, dealing with some sort of deep level insecurity. It's the kid's fault that an active shooter came into the school and killed them all because they were fighting some sort of fucking inner demons in their young 6-year-old souls. Like, what the fuck? Does that make any fucking logical sense? When is it the narcissist's fault? When is it the shooter's fault? It's like, no. I wholeheartedly reject that fucking paradigm and that narrative. It's gone way overboard. Seriously, think about it. Oh, well, those innocent, you're never a victim. They manifested it. And I'm listening to Abraham Hicks and I'm like, oh yeah, these young children manifested their brutal death from a gunman because subconsciously they were dealing with some sort of deep insecurity. They're 5 years old. They're dealing with insecurities. Well, like, think about that. That's the narrative. No, you're never a victim in your life. You manifest it. It's like, what? No, victimization is real. Victimization is legitimate. It exists. Innocent people get fucked all the time. And this is the problem, okay? I don't know if it's part of the game, but this whole victimhood mentality, this cancel culture, this woke culture, what they're doing is it's a psyop, okay? Because victimhood is legitimate. Legitimacy of victimhood exists, okay? People are victims. And good people are victimized all the time. Right? So, this whole woke culture that, oh, you're just playing the victim. Don't be a wussy. Get over it. You're just playing the victim. Stop being the victim. No. This, you know what this does? This And then, the fact that everybody's offended by everything, right? It waters down and it delegitimizes the actual victims. It's a psyop to delegitimize actual victimhood. That's what it does. It puts a negative stigma around the legitimacy of being an actual victim. Why? So you don't heal from it. So you shy away from it. You can't heal from something you shy away from. And if they can convince you to blame yourself, maybe that's why Abraham Hicks is so successful. Because she's mind-fucking everybody to blame yourself. You're not a victim. It's your own fault. You manifested it. Fuck you. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. And it doesn't make any sense. Why is it my fault that Johnny's a narcissist or a fucking rapist or a fucking serial killer? And I'm an innocent victim and I manifested that. Wait, It's my fault. Wait. So here's the other truth. If you delegitimize actual victims, and you put this negative stigma around victimhood, it makes somebody, but it makes you feel weak. It's a mind fuck. It's a flip game. It's flip mode, right? Playing victim means that you're weak. Suck it up. Move on. Get over it. Well, if you do that, then you don't heal from it. And if you don't heal from it, then you're stuck in the cycle, which is what they want, which is what narcissists want. They want you stuck in a fucking cycle. So they don't want you to realize that you're a victim. And that it's okay and that it's legitimate. And that once you face the truth, then you can process it and heal from it and grow from it and learn lessons. Oh, Abraham Hicks, we're going to learn lessons now. So this is the psyop and the mindfuck. Fucking ridiculous. It really is. And that's part of the psyop. If you're a legitimate victim, you're a legitimate victim. Don't shy away from that. Don't blame it. And you need to process it. And that's what makes you stronger. You're not weak for fucking playing victim. You see the mind fuck? Do you see the negative stigma? Do you see the perpetuation of the process? And if you don't face it and you don't heal from it, then you're stuck in it. That's what the Matrix wants. They want you stuck. Narcissists want you stuck. That's the wisdom. That's the truth. So this whole woke culture, this whole cancel culture, this whole victimhood culture is a reverse mindfuck to delegitimize actual victims. So you don't, because everybody in the Matrix is a victim. Everybody is being victimized. Your money's being victimized. Your fucking thoughts. If you watch the news, you even watch the weather, you're being victimized. You're being lied to. You're being manipulated. You're being stolen from. And to keep you stuck in that vibration, they want you to feel bad, or they want you to shy away from healing from your victimhood status. And if you do that, then you're stuck. And you think you're being strong, but you're not. It's a psyop. It's a mind fuck. It's the devil. It's low vibrational. It's bullshit. And this is why I don't get involved in politics. This is why I'm never going to vote anymore. Because centralized power and divisive politics is not the answer. Clearly, you need to change the hearts and minds of people, and you need to raise the vibration. I guarantee you the aliens don't follow any form of government. I guarantee you that higher vibrational beings don't fucking fight each other in cages for money. I guarantee you aliens don't do what we're doing. Aliens don't vote. If humans are going to evolve in vibration, there needs to be a whole new paradigm. Period. People ask me, what's the answer? God is the answer. God has all the answers. Period. The answer is not therapy. And I could go in on therapists too. You know, it's like you go to a therapist and this is what they do. You go in, you fill out a questionnaire, they tell you your attachment style, they put you in a box, they categorize you. Right off the bat, they tell you who you are, what kind of attachment style you are, what your relationship's gonna be, who you're gonna attract, what kind of relationship status you're gonna have, and I'm your therapist and I'm gonna help you manage it. No. Ew. What the fuck? I'm an infinite being. I can be, do, or have anything I want, and I do agree with Abraham Hicks on some of her stuff. A lot of this stuff is very empowering, but some of it makes no fucking sense. But some of it I agree with. And your attachment style implies that I'm codependent. I've healed myself from codependency. So I no longer resonate with attachment styles because I'm not attached to anything or anyone. Not even my kids. I'm connected with them, connected with everything, attached to nothing. Okay? That's a higher vibrational state of being. I no longer resonate. Sorry, I don't need therapy. I have the answers. Thank you. I've worked very hard on my connection with Father, and you're fired. I don't need you to tell me my attachment style and who I'm going to attract into my fucking life. None of it resonates. And so you have therapists telling you who you are. And if you listen to them, you're giving up your power. Oh, well, my therapist told me I'm this, and this is my life. This is what I'm destined to do and destined to be because they're the professionals. What? The dumbest fucking shit I've ever heard in my life. Stupidity. If you look at therapy, that's a toxic codependent relationship right off the bat. Oh, well, I'm dependent on the therapist for guidance and they're dependent on me for money. Well, there's your conflict of interest right there. Game's over. That's a fucking relationship I want nothing to do with. Ever. Don't go to a therapist if you want solutions. That's like going to a fucking pharmacist if you want to get off drugs. Oh my God, I'm going to post that on Facebook. Going to a therapist for solutions is like going to a pharmacist to get off drugs. Wow. That's the truth. That's what it is. It's a hamster wheel. What's the answer? God is the fucking answer. Always has been, always will be. Period. People are like, you think you have all the answers? I have access to them. And so do you. And I can point you in the right direction. I'm 100%, million percent sure I can point you in the right direction. The problem is, people want solutions and you give them solutions and they don't want to fucking hear it. It doesn't matter. Judgment Day is coming. Judgment Day is here. Judgment does exist. And I'm not here to ruin Abraham Hicks. I love her, but it's bogus. It's not true. You know, some of her stuff is powerful. And I take what I can use and I leave the rest. But anyways, I'm going on a fucking hour and I'm ranting. Happy New Year, motherfuckers. God is the answer. Always has been the answer. God is the creator of everything and everyone, even Satan. Because duality is the nucleus of consciousness. Period. Good, bad, happy, sad, light, dark, fucking dull, sharp, black, white, heads, tails. Not even God's exempt from it. When God created consciousness, it's you need duality. Period. It really is that simple. Ones and zeros, motherfucker. You know, it's like the top of a pyramid. The closer you ascend to the top, the easier it becomes. The simpler it all is. All the minutia and all the fucking mathematics and all the fucking, you know. If you look hard enough, yeah, you can find fractals and synchronicities and the 369 theorem and all of that shit. I mean, it's as if you want to spend your time doing that, as relevant as it is, that's great. But I'm zooming out, dude. I want to see the whole fucking picture. I don't, you know. Ugh. The square root of narcissism is fucking evil. But anyways, that's the truth. I might actually post this. But yeah, Happy New Year. And God's the answer. It's a lot of work. But there's no conflict of interest. Trust me.